Viewer discretion advised. This week's episode of High and Hello is brought to you in part by Bookshelves. You got a bunch of books. You got a bunch of little figurines. Shoe boxes full of knickknacks and whatnots. You got some badass candles or those, fucking memorabilia, old bumper stickers. You got all this shit lying around. Fucking get some bookshelves, homie. They're super cheap. You can literally probably get one anywhere for free. If you go to any website that sells bookshelves, use promo code High and Hello to get absolutely nothing. Bookshelves. Go get yourself some bookshelves. Yeah. Bookshelves. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of High and Hello. It's me, Tyler, your host on this podcast journey. Hope everyone's been doing well. I'm not doing too bad. Just was reading this thing the other day about the Illinois gas tax. Everyone's been all up in arms about it. The mileage tax. I don't know. I don't drive, so I don't really have a major opinion on it, but I read it. A lot of people I know didn't read it, but I read it, and from what I found is, A, it's voluntary, so that means you don't have to do it. A lot of things are voluntary. Like, virtually everything you do, you're volunteer to do it. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, and if you do volunteer to do it, you can pay like 0.0025 cents per mile over the year, and that opts you out of paying the 19-cent per gallon gas tax. And apparently there's even an app for it to where you can just take a picture and it logs your gas mileage over the year, and then you use that to say, hey, I paid all this gas mileage, but give me back that tax money. And okay, there you go. So it seems like it's a bill for someone specific. Whether that be, fucking grandmas with a nice little Prius who drive to church and fucking Texas Roadhouse and then back home. They go 3 places throughout the week. Yeah, that makes sense. So they get 19 cents less per gallon, and we just charge them for the fucking 6 miles a week they drove. Yeah, sounds perfect. Now, if you're a traveling salesman, obviously you think you're fucked, but you're not. So, because you're not deciding to do it. So, shut up. So, shut the fuck up. Oh, my God. So many things. There's so much bullshit to worry about in this world, and people freak the fuck out about the stupidest shit, and they don't even fucking look into it. They don't even, read into it just a little bit. They just assume that the title has everything involved. The title has everything that you need to know right there. No, you gotta fucking read it. You gotta read it. Look at the cover of 3 Little Pigs. You're gonna see a wolf, 3 pigs, and possibly 3 houses. That doesn't tell you the journey, the story, the fucking plot. You just see the fucking picture. Ugh. Read, people. Speaking of which, my guest today, his name is Reed. How fucking funny is that? Wow, that worked out perfect. You guys should have heard the 6 other ones that didn't go as smoothly. Yeah, so my buddy Reed joins me. Reed just got back from a kick-ass road trip. He spent 100 days out on the road with him and his 2 roommates. Beautiful story, beautiful tale. He talks about going from Chicago all the way over to Portland, down to SoCal, over and in. We didn't really talk how far they go in until they go up. But yeah, I think Nashville was involved possibly. I know they went to Bourbon Street. They hit fucking everywhere, man. Everywhere. 3 Mills, 1 Subaru. And I'm sure it broke the fuck down because it's a Subaru going on a giant 100-day road trip. So buckle up, strap in, grab yourself your favorite recreational substance and abuse it. High and Hello starts in 3, 2, 1. I think it's because I focus on trying to snap. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Fuck. There it is.
I've never had a manicure. I've also never had a manicure, but I bet it would be great. My nails are messy right now.
Yeah.
And someone knows how to make them perfect. do pedicures.
And it's
sometimes,
usually a lady.
Yeah, usually.
Sometimes it's a man, though. And I'm sure his hands are just perfect. They're just fucking crafted by the gods.
I'm sure they are, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hi and Hello. It's Tyler here. My guest today, I've known for, what, a year?
Couple of years, 2 years?
Has it been 2 years by now?
Maybe.
Okay, because I was talking to one of our members of your little group, your little,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a community.
It's a community.
It's this fucking ragtag community, and they were saying that we barely troop.
Yeah.
Yeah, a real life troop, not an improv troop, a real life troop. They were saying that we barely known each other, and I thought I've known you guys forever. That's how it feels. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I love that. We've known each other for 2 years. You just went on an amazing trip. Literally a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Maybe.
Possibly. I hope not.
Yeah.
But the way I was viewing your trip from still staying here in Chicago, it was literally like one of those fucking road trip movies, man. It was this crazy, like, we'll never fucking do this again. Like, I picture you guys being chased by rhinos at some point, but I know it never happened.
I mean, we did drive past a rhinoceros.
Did you?
Yeah, in one of those, like, drive-through wild game safari zoo things.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get some of the hellos out of the way real quick. So where are you from originally?
I am originally from Oregon. I grew up in unincorporated Clackamas County, Oregon, but essentially suburban Portland area.
Okay. And what was that like? How do you view your upbringing in that community, in that era?
It was really great. I mean, we had goats and chickens, and most of our neighbors had Christmas tree farms. It was really green and beautiful, and I spent a lot of time, like, running around in the woods and, like, hitting plants with sticks.
Did you ever come across I always gotta ask whenever anyone says they were in the woods, did you ever come across some random playboy? Because that never happened to me, but apparently, like, that happened to everyone in my, like, dad and cousins generations.
No.
Never?
No,
okay.
never.
Just gotta check. Gotta check, man. That's just a long going thing. Whenever anyone says they were out in the woods, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
So when you were coming up, what was some of your favorite subjects in school?
When I was young, like 10 years old, I was really into biology. I wanted to be a marine biologist when I grew up. I come from a line of biology royalty. My great-grandfather, Alfred, invented gene mapping and was, like, important figure in genetics. So that was cool. We've got the same last name, so all my science teachers would, like, ask me about him, which is kind of fun.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah.
That's actually, like, a really cool moment in time.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Totally.
I don't think anyone on my side had any inventors. Now that I think about it, I think we were just consuming.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
People do stuff.
But all right. Well, what about your folks? Did they were they into biology as well, or was that just mostly the relative?
Mostly that was, like, the family connection, and I've always just loved animals. I still, like, spend a lot of time looking through Wikipedia articles about, like, taxonomy of mammals and stuff. I really like it.
What do you think's the most up close animal you've gotten to, like, a unique creature? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
what's the most, like, unique you've gotten to come face to face with?
That I've gotten to come face to face with. I guess a grizzly bear was pretty cool. Like, hiking in Glacier National Park when I was like, on a family vacation as a kid. Yeah, a grizzly bear walked out on the trail, like, 15 feet in front of us.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it was a small, I mean, it was still pretty big, but it was, like, a small-ish grizzly bear, and it, like, looked at us, didn't care about us at all, and, like, walked off down the hill.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of a rush. And I got to chase some moose out of my aunt's garden one time.
Where was that at?
Southeast Alaska.
Nice,
yeah,
man.
Gustavus.
The first moose I ever came across was when my mom lived up in Anchorage. She lived in this place called Strawberry Cottage. And
that's an amazing name.
It was, dude. And when, like, I first arrived there, it was kind of straight out of Edward Scissorhands. Like, all these apartments, they were, like, maybe 2-floor with an attic, but they were super tight.
Okay.
And it was literally like just off a highway, and there was maybe 50 buildings, but they were all a different color of sherbet.
What?
Yeah, so it'd be like a sherbet red and a sherbet yellow and a sherbet orange, and it was just and like a sherbet pink. Yeah, it was fucking gnarly.
And there was a moose?
There was a giant fucking moose, man. She was doing the dishes and she yelled for me to come down, and its fucking head was just like pressing up against the glass pretty much, and like
dang.
Like the nostrils were fogging up the window.
Yeah, that's scary.
It was at first. Like I was freaking animals. The fuck out, man. And she's like, "Come here, man, check it out." And like she took me out onto the porch, and this fucking moose like leaned against the porch. Dude, you felt the whole fucking house like the foundation creaked, and it was just like sitting there, this giant creature, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Its fucking antlers were giant.
Yeah,
it was nuts. That was a really crazy moment. I've never had that, like, bear or, like, mountain lion. Did you see that shit about the guy who just took down a mountain lion?
I did, yeah. He, like, strangled it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's like, yeah, he put his fingers in its nostrils and, like, put his knuckles out so he could block the airwave. And then he just fucking... And that's fucking scary as shit.
Yes.
What about when you went on this big road trip you just had? Did you come across any wildlife out there?
Yeah, let's see. We saw a bunch of bighorn sheep. That was pretty cool. They were like on the side of the road in Colorado, and then we saw a bunch of other places too. We had some pretty close bison encounters in the Badlands. We were camping like 10 feet away from a big pile of bison shit one night.
Oh my God.
And then we went to cook our dinner in like the gravel parking area of this weird little campsite. And we hear this, kind of grunt and snuffle from behind us, and there's like 2 bison maybe 30 feet away from us, just like chilling, looking at us.
Inform the folks at home. So how did this trip come about, and what was the route?
Okay, yeah, I'll talk trip outline. Me and my girlfriend Lucy were just kind of talking about, this is about a year ago now, maybe last March, talking about how we both always wanted to go on a big road trip and, go across a bunch of the United States. And then we were like, well, hey, we're young and adventurous. Let's do it. Our lease was ending at September 1st last year, and we were like, just kind of gonna be done living in that house, and we wanted to hit the road, and we decided to invite along our best friend and roommate Holly, and she also obviously wanted to go on a giant adventure. And basically we went from Chicago down to Missouri, and then up through Colorado and Kansas before we got to like Nebraska and South Dakota and Wyoming and Montana, kind of moving west and north.
Right.
Then we dipped through Idaho, then to Seattle, and then up to like northern Washington before we basically headed down the west coast, Portland, and then Medford, Oregon, down at the bottom, and then down, spent a long time in Northern California, and then a long time around the Bay Area, and then down California, looped all the way to San Diego before going back northeast to Nevada, and
holy shit.
Yeah,
man.
We went past the Grand Canyon,
God
and then back into Colorado,
son.
Then through Texas, all the way to New Orleans. And then back up to Chicago.
Yeah. God damn, man.
Yeah, so we hit a lot of states.
What was the full amount of time it took?
100 days.
You did this all in 100 days?
100 days, yeah. It might have been 99 or 101, but I think we calculated that it was 100 days.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And you didn't even have like some kind of weird Facebook post to like, dude, trip in 100 days to kind of like itinerary to go off of. You guys just fucking did it.
Yeah,
That's
so
insane.
we made our itinerary, and then we mostly followed it. There were some big revisions that happened here and there when we would be like, okay, shit, our budget is dying here. We have to, plan out the next 2 weeks of our route, including exactly what groceries we're gonna buy, and make sure that we can stay for free in these 4 places.
Yeah. So you tented most of it, or like what was your biggest ally in and securing shelter.
Yeah, so our biggest ally was couchsurfing.com. The plan was we were using this free camping website that just has like a database, user-built database of places you can camp for free all over the country.
Right.
And so we were using that most of the way out to the west. We were camping for free in all these interesting places. And we did some like KOAs and stuff, Campgrounds of America. But then it was 25 degrees in Montana outside of Yellowstone, and we ended up sleeping on the floor of the shower room at this KOA. Because it had a heated floor, and it was like a private little room that we could lock.
Yeah, dude.
We did what we had to.
Yeah, toss those blankets.
Yeah,
Let's just get out of here.
We were really fucking cold.
Yeah.
So then after that, we started using couch surfing. We were like, fuck, we need a new way to stay for free places that is inside of a building.
Okay, so how many times do you think you stayed on a couch surfing?
16?
16?
Maybe more.
What was that first night like?
Yeah, so
Don't
the
fucking
very
lie to
first
me.
night...
You're like, all right, we're going to go to this person's house.
The first night was crazy.
Oh, I bet it was.
Because the first night we were staying on a sheep ranch in western Montana with this wonderful 71-year-old woman who ran this sheep ranch out of this like 120-year-old dairy barn. It was like at the center of this weird farm parcel at the edge of this little town in Montana, and she had 100 sheep, and she had this young woman there.
Wool?
No, she didn't. She ran the whole thing mostly by herself, but she had this young woman who was staying with her through maybe Workaway or X Help or something like that, like a find a job to like stay and work kind of sites. Who was there to like learn how to sheep ranch from her and was helping her out. But now she like gave us dinner and breakfast. We had a sing-along with her antique mechanical player piano. She like sat down and started like pumping the pedals, and we all sang "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands."
Wow.
And then in the morning she had us help her corral the lambs to load up in the trailer to take to auction. We didn't help a lot. We just like helped hold up fencing and like opened gates.
Well, still, that's some help. That's cooler shit. All right.
Yeah, so that was our first night of couch surfing, and
right.
we're like sitting there, we load back up in the Subaru,
we have to give a fucking shout out to this car if this thing didn't break down. Did it break down at all? Like, were you? Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck the Subaru.
Yeah. Our first night of camping, it wouldn't start.
Oh.
Yeah. We had to call roadside assistance, and they couldn't find anyone in our area to come give us a jump because we were in the middle of fucking nowhere in Kansas.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and eventually they got the county sheriff to come and give us a jump.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but after this night at the sheep ranch, we all just, we sit down in the Subaru and we're like, okay, this is now a completely different trip. Like, it's no longer that we were on a camping trip to like see the beautiful like wilderness of America. Now it's like we are gonna go on a tour of interesting people's homes, and like every day we're gonna meet new weird interesting people, and we're gonna sit down and have dinner with them and like connect and share stories every day. And we pretty much did.
Wow.
Most days from that point on, I don't know most, a lot of days from that point on, we would just like drive to a new city or a new state and like go meet a new stranger who was welcoming us into their home. And, we would usually like cook them dinner if they wanted. And we would, sometimes we would play music for them because we're all musicians.
Right.
We've got a little music project called Shoes and Hats. Look for music coming at some point
soon.
Yeah,
gotta get the hashtag while you still can, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have it by now. I followed your guys' Instagram. Give a shout out to your Instagram page from the
trip. 3 millennials, 1 Subaru. 3 mil, 1 Sub. We stopped we stopped updating our Instagram halfway through the trip because it was really hard to get a post out every day because we were working hard every day. It was really much more of a time of struggle than it was a vacation. I mean, I had a wonderful time. It really taught me a lot about myself and my friends.
You
and
came back a changed person.
I did, yeah. So
was there any moments of fear though along the journey, like
fear that we would have to stop?
That something was just like, this isn't right?
Oh yeah, we had a number of times we had to like stop and be like, okay, are we still doing this, or like, do we all want to go home?
Damn, I was gonna say that's got to be because 3 people in a car, man. That's fucking 100 days.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean,
but I'm sure you grow. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come together so much, like,
totally.
You got to have each other's back, and
we really did. That was what changed it for us. That's what made us able to do it. Is, I mean, we're all very close, but we're all empaths. And we all soak up each other's bad moods. You know, when you're in a car for 9 hours in a day with the same people you've been with every single day.
Yeah, it's a real test of friendship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we all got better and better at like supporting each other and giving each other like space for bad moods and a bad time. Because like, you know, it's one thing if you're on vacation for a week and you're just gonna be like, all right, I can like squish down my bad moods and just enjoy every day of this vacation. You know, I only have a week here. But when it's your life on the road for like 3.5 months, you gotta like, you're gonna have shitty days. You know, you're gonna have days when everyone's in a really bad mood and you don't get to see anything cool that day. And you know, those happened all the time for us. Not every day. But,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that question was more derived from the fact that like I'm such a weird horror movie nut that just the idea of like 100 days and like picturing on the map of like where you guys went through, I was like, there had to have been one time where they're like, we should just get out of this place. Like this is bad vibes, man.
Oh yeah, there was.
You know what I'm saying?
There was.
Like,
we
almost
almost ditched this Airbnb in the middle of the night. There was this really scary guy in the room next to us. It was this weird kind of seedy boarding house in what was that town called? Riverside, California, like east of LA County, and the walls were paper thin, and there was this man who was up all night just like yelling at someone that he was gonna kill them, and like yelling like racial slurs and gay slurs and like slamming doors and like moving his bed around.
Weird.
Yeah, it was like really scary.
Yeah.
And like the guy who was running the Airbnb, who was just, you know, it seemed like he was just someone who was like, you know, doing this little job. It wasn't like his place or anything. Like went up and like tried to talk to the guy, and we heard the guy like yell at you, like, if you come up here again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably get the fuck out.
Yeah, and we decided to wait it out and stay. And it was not the best night of sleep. But then that guy left in the morning, and we stayed there another night, and it was fine.
That's fucking gnarly.
It was fine,
man.
except that the scary guy had fucked up the toilet upstairs by dumping a really big ashtray full of cigarette butts and trying to flush them.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So we had to like go around outside the other building to use the bathroom. But
no.
That's fucking stupid.
That's gotta be nuts.
And we had another really scary night in Montana, outside where we had just come from the Little Bighorn battlefield.
Okay.
Which was a pretty cool park to get to see. Excuse me. So we're camping at this little fishing access point on the Little Bighorn River. And it's weird and gross.
Okay.
Like it's like kind of gross mud and like unkempt grass, and there's a bunch of garbage around near the boat ramp. And it just like it was fine. We didn't really like it, but it was getting dark. You know, this was our free campsite we had found online.
Yeah, gotta take what you can get.
Yeah, so we camped there, and it's okay. It feels weird. We don't like it. some locals come and are having like a party down at the other end. Like we've driven all the way down this little driveway thing to camp, but up right next to the road is the bathroom and the boat ramp. And so some locals are there, like partying and drinking in their car and like yelling and having a good time.
No, just fucking.
Yeah. And they leave, and then we sleep, and it's cold and weird and creepy, and we keep hearing weird shit. And Lucy and Holly went to the bathroom together while I was asleep, a little pit toilet, and like we're terrified. You know, they like went in together and like heard like weird footsteps outside, and we're like, "Holy shit, we're gonna die!" But they didn't. And it was terrible, and we packed up really quick in the morning and left. And
You don't get much sleep those nights, though,
then
right?
we decided,
Or do you sleep like a baby?
Lucy decided to Google this place, and it had been the site of a terrible knife murder 5 years before. Had happened right at that spot, and they like found the body next to the boat ramp and stuff.
Oh my God.
So yeah, like someone like got brutally murdered in this spot that we camped at and were really creeped out by. So yeah, we call it Murder Creek. Is what we call that campsite. We are never going back there.
You just gave me the arm heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's wild. What were some of the cooler jobs that you got to work on? Like, I'm assuming you had to do some really interesting fucking stuff just to get by at certain points. And actually, you know what? At what point were you like, guys, we really have to like land something?
We really only had one good job on the journey, but it's a doozy.
Okay.
We ended up. This is in Sonoma County, so Northern California, right on Highway 1. The closest town was a town of about 100 people.
Okay.
And then a little ways down the road, there was one with like 2,000 people. But very, very rural, middle of nowhere, no cell service, right on Highway 1, right where the Russian River meets Highway 1. And so we end up at this Russian restaurant. And we found them on Couchsurfing, and we said we would hang out and help with cooking and washing dishes in exchange for staying a couple nights in their trailer. But they said something like, "Yeah, you can stay, a night or two, and like more once we get to know you if we think you like should stay more." And it's kind of weird there. We get there, and there's these 3 Russian women, and they're like, "We're really tired tonight. The Russian ambassador was here today. Here's where you sleep."
What the fuck?
Yeah, and we're like, okay. And then in the morning, we help them make breakfast, which is it's like a buffet restaurant.
Okay.
They explained to us. So there's a buffet of mostly Russian food, and it's pay what you want, kind of. There's like a box where people can put money, or they can like pay with credit card. It says pay from your wisdom. And this space is filled with puzzles, but all the tables have like riddles on them, and there's like little puzzles, made of bent nails. You have to figure out how to take apart, or like strings.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of like weird little brain puzzles.
Yeah, my grandma gives me those for Christmas. And
Yeah,
they just sit on a shelf.
Yeah, and there's tons of them filling the
Okay.
space. There's also a harp and a piano and an organ.
Wow.
Sitting in the corner. It's all windows and it's overlooking the river and Highway 1. It's beautiful and in the middle of nowhere and very strange.
Yeah.
And so we help them with cooking lunch, and one of the women who runs the place is like, "So we're going away for the weekend to do a breathwork retreat in the woods, and we need someone to run the restaurant for us. Will you do it?"
Fuck.
Yeah, and you don't get a lot of times in your life when someone says, "Hey, I just met you. Will you run my restaurant for 3 days?"
Yeah. I guess.
And so we did it.
And it worked?
Yeah, so we stayed with them while they were there for 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
So we like learned like how everything worked.
All right.
And like kind of got a feel for it. And then they left because they're also like a spiritual community kind of commune-ish, and they teach like workshops on like breath work and meditation and like game theory and stuff like that.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah,
I guess maybe.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a strange place to be sure, but it's a really cool thing. Yeah, and so just the three of us, we ran a restaurant. Holly has gone to culinary school. She was our chef. She told us what to do in the kitchen. She mostly ran the kitchen, but we helped out and we ran the buffet, collected money, cleaned the place.
Was everything like all the instructions written down in Russian or something? Or
No, they just kind of told us, and it was it was our restaurant for the weekend, so we didn't like make a bunch of Russian food. We made a big thing of borscht and goulash before they left, but like Holly was like, okay, we're making this delicious shepherd's pie now, and we could just make whatever we wanted to put out there.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, and we got great reviews from people that had been there a couple times. They told us they like really loved the food that time.
There you go.
Yeah, we served hundreds of customers.
Are you serious?
Hundreds of customers, many of whom were Russian.
Wow.
Yeah, because I guess there's an old Russian fort up near there because it was Russian territory until like 1840, which is ridiculously late.
This was in Montana? Where was this
This is
again?
California.
California?
Yeah, this was part of Russian California until the 1840s.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow.
It might be 1830s, but
I gotta up my
something like
knowledge
that.
of Russian.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Russian tourists that had flown into San Francisco and were driving up Highway 1 to go to this Russian fort. And they all stop at the only Russian restaurant to have some tea and put sour cream on all their food, which is, I guess, a thing Russian people do.
It's their ketchup. I've heard about this.
I've picked it up from them, actually. I've been putting sour cream on a lot more foods now. It's great. It just makes everything creamy and delicious.
What was some of the best food you had out on the road?
Oh, boy. We didn't eat great, to be honest, because we were trying to live on a really small budget, which we succeeded at. We were living at, it was costing each of us around $600 a month to live on the road, including gas, lodging, and food. That's cheaper than rent a lot of places.
Right, but usually you have a job that you can go to every day. When you're trying to make money.
Saving for this kind of trip is really not that hard.
Very true.
You can, if you save, you could probably do it even cheaper if it's in the summer and you camp everywhere. At that point, $400 will do it. And if you're staying more time in one place, not moving to a new state every day, your gas bill will be a lot lower. We spent so much of our money on gasoline.
So when you guys were out on the road, what were some of the fun little road trip games you guys play? Like, how many times did you guys play like the license plate game? Or
we didn't play the license plate game or the alphabet game. What did we play? We did a lot of the time we had cell service, so there was a lot of just like talking about the music we were going to listen to, and we would go around in a circle and everyone picks a song that we listen to. We would just do that for hours sometimes.
Your data bill had to be out of the fucking world unless you have unlimited. Do you have unlimited?
I have unlimited.
Oh yeah.
And there's three of us, So actually Lucy's phone the audio jack didn't agree with the auxiliary cable to the car. So she could never play music off her phone. And then about 2 months into the trip, Holly had zero data. And so at some point it was mostly just me. Oh, and then Holly lost her adapter because she has the stupid new iPhone that you can't plug an auxiliary cord into.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, when you say all this, though, it makes me feel like Oregon Trail, and I just see this little Subaru going down in a pixelated world, and it's like, this phone doesn't work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I was
morale goes down one
DJ
point.
duty a lot. It was great. We listened to a lot of good shit.
What all instruments did you take out with you?
Yeah, so we're all musicians. Let's see. Holly brought her guitar. which is really cute and kind of small and compact, and it has like Sharpie designs drawn all over it. I think she drew them. I'm not totally sure. And then Lucy brought her pink ukulele, but we lost it on the first day of the trip in like Missouri. We think we left it maybe at this state park where we were practicing music. Wakanda State Park.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just like Black Panther, but spelled different. But then we replaced that. We borrowed an ukulele from my mom when we were in Portland. We were like, we lost the ukulele. Can we take this one and bring it back? And then I had my antique banjo, which is pretty fucking cool. It was made in like somewhere between 1905 and 1910 in Boston, and the whole pot is made out of brass instead of like wood with a brass ring. And it's like,
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
yeah, and it's like 2 or 3 inches shorter scale than most banjos are today.
Nice.
So it's like, it's heavy, but it's travel size, and it's really cool and antique. And then I brought my miniature banjo, which is a 5-string banjo, but at C scale, which I like because it's super portable, but it sounds it just sounds dinky, which is like really fun for some songs, you know. Like if it's a fun or funny song, I love to play that thing on it. But I almost never used it.
When just total side note for a second, when
Yeah.
did you start playing instruments?
When I was 5, my grandparents on my dad's side were both musicians, and everyone in my dad's family is musicians. And the grandparents told all their kids, when you have kids, we will pay to have them start music lessons when they turn 5. And so, thanks to my grandparents, thanks Grandma and Grandpa, I started taking Suzuki violin lessons when I was 5. I played violin for a long time, and then switched to cello, and then in high school got into fretted string instruments. Started with the ukulele, then banjo and some mandolin.
You got to meet like the baddest motherfucker when it comes to ukulele.
Jake Shimabukuro, yeah. I was actually, when I was in college, up at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire, Jake Shimabukuro was coming to do a show on campus, because we've got one of the better auditoriums in that part of New Hampshire, because it's, New Hampshire. And someone I knew who worked at the Performing Arts Center at the college was like, "Hey Reed, can you come in and teach a beginner's ukulele class to this like group of freshmen that signed up to have better performing arts experiences?" I don't know what it was. It was something.
Yeah.
They did like stuff before shows. So I show up and I'm teaching these 10 freshmen how to play a couple songs on the ukulele before a Jake Shimabukuro concert in exchange for a ticket to the show. And then Jake shows up because someone told him about this beginner's ukulele class happening. And so the best ukulele player in the world walked in and saw me as the teacher teaching these people, and we got to take a selfie. He played "You Are My Sunshine" with us, which is what I'd been teaching them.
That's cool as fuck, man.
It was really
what a magical
cool
moment.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any other little magical moments alongside a celebrity before? Have you got to meet some people out there?
Yeah, so I met Bela Fleck.
What the fuck?
Yeah, also in college. He and his wife Abigail Washburn were coming to do a show on campus, and they did a lunch with some students. So we ate Ethiopian food and around a table with
That's
them
cool
and
as fuck.
10 students, and they talked about using music to cross cultural boundaries and traveling the world and connecting with people through music, which was pretty cool.
Who were some of your influences coming up? Who were some names that you cling to, just in a sense of modeling your life after, in a sense?
Modeling my life after.
I don't know. Someone might have said something once. You took that, you added it to the stew of Batman. You know what I mean? Who were some of the early influencers in your life?
Man, I don't have a good answer for this question.
Word?
Yeah, I really think that I've never really cared about how other people do stuff with their life.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's actually that's probably the best answer you could give when you really think about it. You didn't let too many things fucking influence you. That's good.
Yeah, like I like to learn from people who know more than me or who are older than me, but I'm not trying to.
Any favorite authors or any favorite musicians that were impactful in a sense?
Yeah, I guess I've actually been told that my musical influence is apparent on like one of my original songs when I played it for my girlfriend the first time, or maybe it wasn't the first time, I don't know. One time I played it for her, she told me that it really sounded like a combination of Jimmy Buffett and the Decemberists, which are like totally two of my big influences, and I think it's great that I can bring those two influences together into a song, because they got kind of different vibes.
I jam that every day. All right, just to get back to your trip for a second.
Oh, yeah.
How much canned food did you eat on the road? Were you was it like an apocalyptic journey at some point? Were you like, we need 4 cans of beans and some Advil? Like, that's all we need.
Honestly, yeah. We did pretty good eating like fresh vegetables. I mean, we would stop at every Walmart, and get bags of russet potatoes and like onions, and we often had kale. So
I mean,
yeah, and carrots. Yeah, so we would get a lot of root vegetables that would keep okay, but we definitely ate a lot of stuff out of cans. We're really into beans. And we would put beans in everything. Garbanzo beans and black beans.
Did you ever try the old Goofy movie trick where you push in the lighter and you use it to heat your can of beans right before they meet Bigfoot? You remember that movie?
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, fuck. You never seen Goofy movie?
No, I haven't.
Oh, man. That's the real fucking peel back of the onion. That's the real layer we just got to here.
Yeah.
Damn, man. That's classic. They use they use a lighter. It's a road trip movie, okay?
Uh-huh.
And the gist is they at one point they use a fucking lighter,
like the car lighter,
the car lighter, yeah. And he puts it underneath a can of beans
to heat it up.
Yeah, to heat it up. And I was like, does that work? I always wondered that, so I was hoping.
Yeah, we didn't have one of those cigarette lighter things in the car.
Fucking Subaru.
I know,
Subaru.
Well, the cigarette lighter like plug thing
was charging phones.
Yeah, we used it. We got a 3-way phone charging splitter.
There you go.
Which is great because then we could all charge.
How resourceful did you have to get out there towards like some of the lower points of like did you ever have a low point throughout it, like a struggle moment, or were you pretty prepared for the whole venture, like out the gate? Like there really wasn't times where like there was a crazy need for resource, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess there were times when everything had kind of crashed and we were stuck, where it wasn't so much like I guess this happened a couple times. We were stuck in the Bay Area. We'd been there for too long. We were spending way too much money on hotels because there were no couch surfers that would take us in San Francisco, and there is no way to stay cheap last minute in San Francisco, is what we learned.
Right.
We could do it anywhere else. Everywhere else we went, we could find last minute cheap or free housing.
Interesting.
Yeah, San Francisco, no. It was around Halloween, so maybe it was like extra busy.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, but we got to this point and we were all like exhausted and like breaking down, and we just had to, tap into unimaginable reserves of energy and planning and be like, all right, we're driving 3.5 hours, east of here to this small city where we can get like a cheap Motel 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But there had to have been moments where, like, even at its lowest point, you're like, this is the best. Like, isn't this fun, guys? Like, when you really think about it. You know what I mean? Looking back, like, those memories, those are going to last a fucking lifetime. That's amazing.
It's hard in the moment. And we talked about this a couple, we would be like, this sucks now, but yeah, okay, a couple months from now, we will love to remember that we did this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's one of your favorite little inside jokes of the trip that no one at home would really understand, but like, is there just like a funny little fucking, even a one-liner from the trip that just brings back so many memories?
Oh God, we all started talking like Furbies.
You went crazy.
Yeah, we went crazy. I got a Furby at a thrift store right before the trip for $3. One of the 2012 Furbies that have multiple personalities they switch between.
Holy shit.
And like little LCD eyeballs that are animated. They're really cool Furbies.
All right.
If you're into that kind of thing. And the Furby was our fourth road trip companion for the first chunk of the trip, and he sang and talked all the time, and we all were like imitating the Furby and like singing the little Furby songs and Da Elo Utai, like all the time. Yeah. And then the batteries died, and we were like, okay, let's not replace the batteries until we're really ready to bring the Furby back. His name's Charles.
It's like your Wilson.
I guess, yeah. I haven't seen that either.
You haven't? Wow.
Yeah.
Did you just neglect pop culture? Like, you're just like, I don't even want to be about it.
I mean, I feel like I did that for a chunk of my life, and a big part of it was I wasn't allowed to watch television when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Which was probably cool. Made me read a lot of books and, like, go outside a lot.
Absolutely.
But it, like, kind of kept me out of the loop on a lot of things. And then I didn't really start going to see movies until I was like in college. Like, I mean, I'd see some in high school, but I didn't really care about it.
What were some of your favorites?
Movies?
Yeah.
Okay, so my favorite movie is The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, which, if you don't know it, is just about the best like 80s movie of all time. It's very 80s. It's like a sci-fi cult classic. It's got Jeff Goldblum in it, and John Lithgow, and Peter Weller from RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I've got a Buckaroo Banzai tattoo on my right forearm. Yeah.
That's bad as fuck.
Wing bees.
I have to check it out, man. I'm getting ready to go on this podcast that this person has where you talk about a movie you've never seen. So you bring that up and they bullshit about it, but it has to be one that's like I know somebody who's never seen Die Hard. Okay, and just hearing what they
know
have
about
to say
it.
about it. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I think the movie is, so I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know what movie I haven't seen, though. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, that's one I haven't seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But a lot of the audience might not know it.
True.
I was really happy a couple months after I got my Buckaroo Banzai tattoo. It got a huge shout out in Ready Player One. At one point, the main character is like trying to pick what he wears for a date, and he's like, "I'll wear the Buckaroo Banzai outfit." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, that's tattooed on my flesh."
Just fast fuck out of it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm so happy that everything worked out in this trip. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when you first told me that, this is what we're gonna do, I was like, oh wow. Like, I was genuinely, I'm not gonna say worried, but it was just one of those things where I was like, wow. Like, how's that gonna go? You know what I mean? Because that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because most people can't even take a fucking week off to do a trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, to be able to be like, no, fuck it. Like, I'm doing this regardless. Like, this is happening. And to have two friends in it with you, you know what I mean? Like, everything worked out to an extent. You get what I mean? Like, that's fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, and it was hard, and it's still hard. I mean, we came back to Chicago basically with nowhere to live and no jobs, and had to like scramble. And luckily we have a lot of great friends who have couches and stuff. And now we've got an apartment, and we almost have jobs. But the trip, the difficulties of it still aren't over. And yeah, we did it, and we finished it, and we got back to Chicago, but it's kind of changed the course of our lives for at least the next year. Probably a lot more, because everyone keeps saying, wow, this is a once in a lifetime trip. I don't think that's true for us.
Yeah.
I think now that we know how to do this, and we know that we can do it, we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And we'll be way better at it, because we just kind of like packed up and left and didn't know what the hell we were doing. And we all packed a bunch of stuff we didn't need and didn't pack some stuff we did need. So we'll be amazing at packing next time.
Now, here's a question then. Obviously, you've thought about it. So what would be 5 tips if you had the chance to tell yourself before you left the first time? What would be like 5 essential road trip tips to be like, hey, if you're doing this, don't forget. Like, here's my 5 words of wisdom.
Okay. Yeah, 5 tips in no particular order.
No particular order.
First one that comes to mind is get one of those rechargeable car battery jumpers. You can get them at Walmart or anywhere. You just like charge it, you plug it into the wall and charge it up, and you can use it to jumpstart your car. Because if you're not going to be staying in cities all the time, sometimes there won't be someone there to jumpstart your car, and you just got to be ready. Be ready to connect with the people more than the places, I think, is really important.
I love that.
What's that?
I said I love that. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, because
that should be for just life.
Yeah, but when you're traveling through, I mean, you can learn about the place from learning about the people, and honestly, you're gonna be in the place no matter what, so you might as well like make human connections. That's what your brain is better at anyway. And people are probably gonna be cooler than the place. Let's see, another good road trip tip. We got this rooftop storage bag from Walmart for like $60, and it like almost doubled our storage space, even in the Subaru. We could put so much crap in that top storage space, and it made it like livable. At first we had all the stuff in the car, we could barely see out the back, and it was terrible, and the person who was sitting in the back always had like, every time you made a big turn, stuff would like fall on them. It was hilarious but really unpleasant. So get a rooftop storage. It's not expensive to get the bag kind. It's like a big rubber waterproof bag with a zipper that just straps onto your roof.
Okay.
How many tips is that? 3? All right.
Well, we had the bag tip, and we also had the
battery.
The battery.
And
so I think that's 2.
And then another? Connect more with the people than the
connect
places.
More with the people, exactly.
Yeah.
How did I forget that?
That's a good one.
Like that. I even said that's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, something we did that saved us a lot of money and gave us cool experiences was getting the National Parks annual pass. It's $80 and it gets you into every national park free for 1 year.
Wow.
Which is great because a lot of the parks have like, like a $15 entrance fee or something for a car. And we went to like, I don't know, 10 or 12 national parks and monuments and stuff. So we totally saved money by getting the pass.
That's cool as shit, man.
Yeah.
$80 a year, that's doable.
Yeah.
Shit. And besides like when the shutdown happened, those are pretty well kept too. Is there usually like what are they? Park rangers and shit like hanging out and
Yeah, you see park rangers.
As much as I know about national parks, it's always just been Yogi Bear in my mind.
Yeah, it's basically like that, but people.
Right on.
Yeah, we went to a bunch of them.
Did you get to see any like free entertainment along the way? Were you guys using like apps and shit to find something to do that night if you had the time?
We found a strip club with no cover on Bourbon Street.
That's pretty cool. That's dope.
Yeah. No, we looked. We did look on like apps and stuff, and we didn't really find anything convenient because we were always our evenings were usually spent like meeting our new hosts. Or like hanging out with our host if we were staying there for a couple days.
Makes sense.
I don't know. I feel like the last tip has to be good.
Yeah.
Totally remind yourself to take a lot of cool pictures, but try and take the pictures with you in them because it's totally more interesting to look at it later if it's a picture of you or your companion than if it's just like, oh, look at this cool tree and landscape. Like, whatever. You can find better ones online.
Yeah.
But not with the people in them.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot too. I love it, man. That's bad as fuck. I can't wait until we're talking about the next one, and then the one after that, and the one after that.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna keep this going. thank you very much for being on today, buddy.
Sure.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
I know we kind of jumped around in conversation, but I've been waiting to do this one for a minute because once you told me about it, I was like, I want the scoop. I want to hear this story. So thank you for sharing.
Sure.
I appreciate the shit out you. Batman, it's been a pleasure, buddy.
Yeah, likewise, Tyler.
All right. I'll have you on again soon?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Awesome. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up. We got a little bit more in our cup. We got a little bit of getting chitting-chatting without the recording going just to catch up a little bit more. All right, everybody. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Keep it easy.
Peace out.
Reed, thank you so much for joining me, man. That trip was insane. So thank you for bringing back all your knowledge and wisdom that you acquired from life on the open road and teaching these kids a lesson or two. I appreciate the fuck out of you. And you, the listener, I appreciate you as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode and you continue to like and subscribe and follow with us as we talk to another person next week. I'll give you an hour of our time. Give me an hour of yours. That's how it works. I appreciate it. And if you got anything you ever need to pimp, holler at your boy. We're hiandhellopodcast@gmail.com. And fuck if I won't answer you back. Just hit us up, just to chat. All right, everybody. Check us out. Instagram, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podbean, Facebook, Twitter, @HiandHelloPod. It was a blast. I had fun. You did too. Don't lie. I love y'all. Peace.
Oh, señorita, llama a la policía. Bebida o tequila, loco de alegría. Oh, señorita, policía, wunderbar.